Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and welcome to Lost in the Wasteland, where I invite a guest onto my show and we take a dive into their perspective on movies. And this week, have my friend Paige here back for round number 2. So go from a week where you just listened to me talk at the camera, and now back to a 2-time guest. So I'm excited to have you back on here, Paige.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And we'll keep a tally on how many times the lighthouse comes up during this episode. Besides that one.
Oh my god. It's a feud between the two of us.
If you want some more context, go back and watch Paige's first episode here on Lost in the Wasteland, because we talked about it a lot. And the witch.
Yes.
And we get the Norseman coming next year from Robert Eggers.
Oh yeah, I love Robert Eggers. Oh yeah. I would do a lot for a Robert Eggers film right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
You won't have to do much. It'll be coming 2022. So.
Oh, no! All right. Thank goodness.
So, obviously, the second time having Paige on, we're going to have different questions. So, are you ready?
Yes, I haven't heard these before, even though Shane sent them to me. I refused to read them, so I'm going blind here.
Now, Paige, what is a previously released film that you have not seen that you are most excited to check out?
Ooh. Oh my, this is a hard one because I've literally seen every movie.
Usually I get that a lot.
I know. It's like you don't have people on here who don't watch movies. So I haven't seen, I'm taking inspiration from that poster. I haven't seen The Big Lebowski. And I feel like it's something it's one of the movies I should just see.
Movie night.
Okay. Even though I have no interest in watching it, I feel like I should. It's like a cultural touchstone, you know?
It's arguably either my number 5 or number 6 favorite movie of all time. Depending on the day, it switches back and forth with Shrek. So...
I'll watch it if we can have snacks.
There's always snacks.
Okay.
You could always have snacks. But I obviously am a big fan of The Big Lebowski, and shamelessly plugging, you should check out my episode of Welcome to the Wasteland about The Big Lebowski.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you've checked that one out. I usually spoil things, so you should probably watch it after we watch it.
I know there's someone called the Dude. That's all I know.
Abides.
The Dude, yeah, I've heard that.
So, There's a whole religion now of people who follow this dudeness.
Okay, well, that's their choice. So.
Lebowski Fest. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
I don't participate. Now, what's an upcoming film that you're most excited about?
Okay, so The Norseman, that is the Robert Eggers film that's like King Arthur inspired?
I think it's like...
Like vaguely?
I think it's like Vikings and stuff like that.
What's the one
The
with
Green Knight.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see The Green Knight.
You could join us. We're definitely going to see it at the end of next month.
Yay.
It's still June, so yes, at the end
of
next month. It's coming out 1 month from now,
Yay.
which is crazy, because I remember seeing the trailer for that when that came out last year, and I'm like, what is this movie? And then it got pushed back indefinitely, and I'm like, no. And then A24 came out, it's like end of July, and I'm like...
Thank God.
Yes. And have you seen the new trailer for it?
I saw the one when you were watching that screener. That's when I saw it. The screener with
that was the new
that
one.
Horrible,
then, yes.
I should criticize the free screeners. It was great. Keep sending them to him, please.
Paige was there when I turned on my screener for Endangered Species, which the only endangered species I wanted to happen was the family in it. It was that bad of a movie.
It was so bad. Am I allowed to say that? It was so bad.
It's after the embargo, so yes, it was a bad movie.
I wanted it to end, but I couldn't look away.
I wanted the family to end.
Didn't they? No.
Oh. Spoilers. But yes, The Green Knight I am super excited for.
Yeah, and I really want to see that.
I love David Lowery. He has such an interesting filmography because he made A Ghost Story. Okay. Which, if you ever want to watch Casey Affleck walking around in a sheet, being a ghost, going through time and space and watching...
How much do we see? Like, is the sheet like around the waist?
No, it's like dragging on... It's literally...
Oh.
Like dragging on the ground. So like he's just what you would dress up for Halloween. And you also watch Rooney Mara eat a pie for 5 minutes. And I mean like actually 5 minutes. It's one of the strangest movies I've ever seen.
But, you haven't sold me, but it's okay.
Peach Dragon probably my second favorite live-action Disney remake. It's a lovely film. And he directed that. So, and you just need to watch the trailer for The Green Knight and be like, look at this movie.
I love, like, Arthurian legend. Like, I love The Mists of Avalon, the book. Have you ever read that?
I have not.
Well, when you have, like, 5 days in a row free, then you can read it. It's like...
Just so happen to have 5 days off coming up, but I'm probably not going to be reading the book during it.
It's I don't know. It's not a movie, so he's not interested.
I read.
I know you know how to read. He knows how to read, guys.
So, story for another time.
Okay.
But
he doesn't know how to read, I guess.
I used to be an extremely avid reader and used to have 8 bookshelves worth of books in my bedroom. But that's a long story.
It's a flex, okay. Don't know why you have to flex so hard about that, but it's fine.
Well, movies became my thing when books stopped being my thing.
Yeah. Well, you thought... there's no shame in... It's not problematic. You're not canceled.
I would hope not.
No. Mm-mm.
Alrighty. So, moving along then. So, what is a film you wish would be remade?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. Okay. So... Aragon?
Yes.
Aragon. Okay. When I was like... When did that come out? Like 2005, maybe? The book? I mean, not the movie.
That sounds about right.
It was like 2003 to 2005. I was like a little...
Shane.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna fact check, but I was like either an angsty preteen or like barely an angsty preteen.
2002, the book came out. The movie came out in 2006, which we would like to forget.
Yeah, okay. So, I was like 10 when the book came out. I loved it because I love Lord of the Rings. And I was like, oh, like this is like a fun version not written in the 30s. Like, I'm into that as a 10-year-old. And I don't know, like, in retrospect as an adult, like, the book quality is not that good, right? But it was fun. It was a fun time. And then the movie, like, they just butchered it. They wasted Jeremy Irons. He's who, like...
John Malkovich.
Yeah, they wasted John Malkovich. Jeremy Irons is, like, low-key, I think, kind of hot. Like, in general.
He has a ruggedly handsome look in Aragon.
Yeah. No, like, in general.
And generally,
he
has a very, very classy kind of look to him.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, that was disappointing, because he's both low-key, like, you know, a hottie, and also a very good actor. And I just remember thinking, like... Did they even read the book? Like, it was just, like, the most generic fantasy bullshit, and I was so upset even as a wee... 2006 it came out?
Yeah.
As a wee 14-year-old.
I remember seeing the movie and just being very underwhelmed by it. Mm. Between that and the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief movie, yeah. I was just like... Way to ruin the books that I love as a kid. Because, like, I remember being a sophomore in college when Inheritance finally came out. The last book. Yeah. And...
It was that long? Because I read all of them, but it was that long. Shit.
Yes, I recall plowing through that in, like, 2-3 days. Yes, because everybody was playing... They're all playing League of Legends, and I was just sitting there reading my book.
He's not like other girls. He's worse.
Oh my. But yes, I've heard that, like, apparently I think they're making a Disney Plus series of Aragon, potentially.
I don't have... Oh, no, we do have Disney Plus. Like, not... I don't have it. John, my boyfriend has it.
I have streaming services for everybody.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, my friend Matt tried to pay me money so that he could watch things on. I'm like, I already gave you my sign and just watch it. But he was very nice and bought me a Criterion Blu-ray, so that's a real friend right there buying you Criterion movies.
Yeah, that's fancy.
But yes, go remake Aragon because you ruined it. Yeah. The first time around.
There's so many I could talk about, but there's only one. I was going to say The Golden Compass, but they made that into an HBO series.
Yes,
so
which is great.
It's done. It's already remade.
Yep.
All right, I'm happy.
And it's already going into the 3rd and final season.
It wasn't good, though. I tried to watch it.
With the show?
Yeah. The books, you can't replicate them.
They definitely don't go as deep into, like, the themes of it, because going full-blown atheist is probably not gonna be commercially successful.
Okay, whatever. I mean, you're right, but, like, I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I just, like, think you're probably right. It's stupid, though.
But now, Paige, what's your fondest memory of going to the movies?
You've already asked me this.
I asked you what's your earliest memory of going to the movies.
Alright, I feel like you did already ask me this, but I'll answer again. This might be a different answer than the other time. But I do remember going to see the first Lord of the Rings movie, The Fellowship of the Ring. And I was like 9 or 10. Like, I definitely shouldn't have been. Like, I was very scared.
Everyone's like, this is a fun fantasy movie for kids. Forget the fact that it's PG-13 and had some scary, frightening, and violent moments in it.
The orcs, like, to a little 9-year-old, like, the orcs were scary. Like, I was not pleased with that. But I remember, like, I went with my dad, and he was, like, a big Lord of the Rings fan, and he bought me, like, popcorn and drinks, and, like, you know, even now, like, that's a baller move. Like, usually you sneak in the snacks, but, like, he was like, no.
We're going to spend $15 for popcorn.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, to me that's, like, I still do that sometimes because that's, like, the quintessential movie experience, like, spending, like, your whole fucking paycheck on a popcorn and drink.
Yeah,
and,
if I have corn.
You can eat corn? Oh, I'll press F for you in the chat.
Yeah. It's so sad. Like, I'll get a hot dog or something when I go to the movies. Now it's not the same.
A hot dog? They sell hot dogs at the movies?
Yeah. They're like $7 too.
I'll make you a hot dog.
Just
for free. You can come to my house, I'll make you a hot dog to smuggle into the movies.
What should have happened this past Friday when I went to go see F9 was I sit down in my seat and just start taking hot dogs out of my shirt.
Oh my god.
I actually have an interesting story about seeing Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
So
are we the same age? What year were you born?
91.
Oh, so you're like 7 or 8 months older than me. Yeah. Okay. So we're like about
the
same age.
I was 10. Had a basketball game that Saturday. My aunt's like, we're going to go see a movie. So we went to go see Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
What my aunt didn't do was check how long it is. Because the movie's 3 hours. So,
and this is the non-extended, like just the regular edition. The extended
edition is 3 hours and 30 minutes for Fellowship.
He knows his stuff.
Two Towers is 3 hours and 40 minutes. And Return of the King is 4 hours and 10 minutes.
I've seen them all multiple times, like the extended edition, because
me too.
I'm cool.
My Blu-ray box sitting right over there.
Oh yeah, okay. Damn, all right.
So we left after 2 hours because she didn't check what time it was, and the last thing I saw was Frodo getting stabbed by a cave troll. And she was like, "Oh, we're not going to miss much." And then I go into school on Monday and find out that I missed a whole hour of. I missed the Balrog. Like, my classmate was describing this giant fire demon with a sword and a whip. I'm like, what?
And Gandalf dies!
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Frodo didn't. So,
Frodo didn't do it.
No, Frodo didn't die. The last thing I saw was him getting stabbed. I had no idea if he survived. I was 10 years old. I had no idea. I didn't understand plot armor at that point.
Literal plot armor.
Yes, and it was made out of mithril. And I missed the whole Amenhen thing, Lothlorien, Boromir dies, like, the whole entire last hour of the movie, completely missed it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But you've seen it since then. And happy ending, guys. Happy ending.
Happy ending 9 hours and 20 minutes later. So
no, I'll make you some. You can swing by my house. I'll make you some hot dogs for your next theater trip. I'll be like, all right.
I'll be going Friday, maybe seeing the Forever Purge.
Is that like? Are they still making fucking Purge movies?
Yeah, because they make money.
Okay, but like, the Purge makes no sense, logically speaking. Like the concept of it.
Well, the funny thing is, this one's like, but the sirens rang, the purge is over. It's like, no, this is the Forever Purge, and people still continuing to kill people at the end of it. I haven't.
Wait, that doesn't make it better. It still makes no sense. Okay.
So I have not seen the first three. I saw the fourth one, which was called The First Purge, which was a prequel, and now I get to go see The Forever Purge. So
it's such a fucking lazy title too. It's like, oh, what should we say? The Eternal Purge? The Everlasting Purge? Ah!
The never-ending story of The Purge.
It feels like that. Those movies are so...
What is it? The Purge? Purge Anarchy? Purge something or other.
Like Liberty? Like United States?
Something.
Dick stabbing? I don't know.
And now they all come out on the 4th of July for some goddamn reason. You know what was supposed to come out 4th of July weekend? Was Maverick. I'd much rather be seeing Tom Cruise flying around in a jet than watching The Forever Purge this Friday.
Why are you watching it? I guess you have to watch every movie.
I do watch everything.
He's seen every movie.
If you want to get a reaction out of Jess, ask her about the swing of things. And Paige is definitely going to do that when we walk out after filming this.
Jess is downstairs, so...
Now, what's a film that you saw that really exceeded your expectations?
That's a good one. I think every movie exceeds my expectations because I go into every movie with no expectations. So,
have you ever...
Can I talk about one that had like kind of subverted my expectations? Like,
sure.
Is that okay? All right.
Go ahead.
So, well, we already talked about this before a little bit, but I watched The Seventh Seal because I was bored on a Friday night.
and that's what cool kids do.
That's what cool kids do.
They watch Ingmar Bergman films on a Friday night.
Yeah, John came home and he's like, what the hell are you watching? Because it was like blaring. They're yelling in Swedish. It's black and white. He's like, what the hell are... I have the lights off.
Yeah.
I'm like...
I have my Criterion right up there.
Oh, stop flexing. You're making me look bad. I'm your guest. Yeah, so I was just like sitting there like being all goth or whatever. But I really thought I thought it was going to be like this really serious, like bleak movie. But it was really more of black comedy.
Yes. It's surprisingly funny.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And fun fact, I think 2,000 Swedish kroner note has the director and whoever played Death, I forget. They're on that.
Interesting.
Note. I forget. I think it's a 2,000 kroner note.
I know. Well, I know Ingmar Bergman's like a big deal, and this was one of Max von Sydow's first films. He plays the crusading knight.
Yeah.
And dude just passed away. It's like 90 something, and was still acting.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Like he was in Force Awakens for all of like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Before Kylo Ren murked him. But Seven Seal is a really interesting, influential film because like you watch Bill and Ted. Death is literally death from the Seven Seal. You have the Dance of Death at the end of it. There's a whole entire skit in Monty Python and the Meaning of Life that 100% is a spoof of the Seven Seal.
Yeah, definitely.
And fun fact, so I literally just wrote a blurb about the Seven Seal for this week's Sif Pop, the Best Ever Challenge, because in honor of Boss Baby, Family Business coming out this Friday.
I'm dying to see where this is going to go.
We're doing top 10 best ever alliteration titles. So, Boss Baby.
That is a
Seven
stretch.
Seal.
I feel like Gumby because that is a stretch. Honey.
Well, to be fair, we've been doing this for 3 years now. So, we're trying. I don't choose them.
Who chooses them?
Our editors. Robert, who's going to be coming back on to Lost in the Wasteland in a couple weeks, so you should check out. Robert will be back on, and I'm sure Aaron will be too. I haven't talked to him about it. But I got 3 weeks in a row planned, so I'm happy with that. Because I feel like if I plan too far in advance, people start canceling on me.
I didn't mean to cancel my car break.
I was speaking of somebody else.
I'm a bad friend.
Because I got like I got a month and a half planned in advance one time, and then it just kind of fell to pieces.
Yeah, people... It's 2021. Like, you can't do that anymore, you know?
I'm a planner.
I know. I get it.
But, so, maybe Seven Seal will top this list. Somebody had Seven Samurai. I'm like, oh, crap, that's up there, too.
I thought it was the Seventh Samurai.
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai? Okay, whatever.
I also have that on Criterion right next to the Seventh Seal up there.
I blindly defer to you on stuff like that. Like, you have a better memory than I do about that.
If you haven't seen either of the Seventh Seal or Seven Samurai, you should go check them out. Just warning, well, Seven Seal's like an hour and 30 minutes.
It's pretty short.
Seven Samurai is like over 3 hours, so just to give you a heads up.
I don't like samurai movies. I'll never watch it.
Now, if you could adapt any written work into a film, what would it be?
Okay, I know this. So, do you know who Clive Barker is?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever heard of his young adult series, Abarat?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's my answer. So, if you haven't read those books, you should. He wrote like this young adult series about like this mystical world called Abarat, and he does the illustrations for them as well. The art is really cool, and it's just like the series is still ongoing. He started it in 2002, and there's like 2 more books. And he hasn't written them, and I'm like really upset about it. But
at least
Disney,
he's not
what?
George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, I mean, because I think he actually got sick, so I don't think he's just being lazy. But, sorry, like, George R.R. Martin said that. He's like, I'm too busy watching the Yankees, or like, whatever, right? I don't know. I don't give a fuck about Game of Thrones. Anyway, but I read that Disney bought the rights to it, like, a year after the first book came out, and then, like, nothing ever happened.
And then it's totally going to be a Disney Plus series.
Oh my god. I would literally, not figuratively, shit myself in excitement.
Oh my.
If that happens.
It'll premiere right next to the Turner and Hooch remake with Josh Peck in it. And
is that a real thing?
Yeah, it comes out next month. Comes out July 2021.
Okay.
We're getting Turner and Hooch remake with Josh Peck in it.
How about, like, some fucking original content? Can we try that?
If you want some original content, you can watch John Stamos' new show, Big Shot, where he plays a former college basketball coach coaching a high school girls team.
Or I could not do that and save myself the pain.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty decent show.
John Stamos is also a cutie, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. His acting chops are like but...
I think he works... He leans into his lane in this, so I think it works. Mm-hmm. Like, Full House was, like, 100% his lane.
Right.
Like, 100%. I've seen him in other things that I'm just like, you're good in Full House, Oikos commercials, and Big Shot.
He was on SVU, and he played, like, a serial rapist with, like, a god complex, and he was really good in that.
Interesting.
Because it was, like, it was, like, the dark side of Uncle Jesse.
He was also in You.
I've never seen You, but
that is the most addictive, trashy television you could ever watch, and it's on funny. Netflix right now. Oh man, it's so trashy, but it's so entertaining. So this one might be, next couple ones might be a little hard without prep, but we're gonna go for it.
Okay.
So what's your favorite movie trailer?
Okay, see, I watch so many movies. I can answer these. Like,
she's a pro, so I'm gonna shut up and let her go.
Aw, thank you, Shane. My favorite movie trailer. I mean, I think there's no movie trailer I can think of like, oh, like that's an artistic movie trailer. But I think I don't think there's anything quite like being in the movie theater and like seeing a trailer for like a film you want to see. It's just like, it's a very intense experience. And the one I'm thinking of the most is The Dark Knight.
Any Hans Zimmer trailer.
Yeah.
Just bomb.
Like it really gives you like, you know, like deep internal like seizures. But I think it's more just, so I guess I'm not The Dark Knight is technically my answer, but I think it's just like any trailer will like fit for a movie you want to see, especially in the movie theater, is like, it fills you with anticipation. Oh, and I liked the trailer for the first reboot Star Trek movie, 2009.
That was a great, the teaser trailer?
Yeah.
Like where it's like panning up the Enterprise. I'm like, oh damn!
It's like a sexy shot of the Enterprise. It's like,
I'm like, I've never watched Star Trek before. I'm like, dang.
The male gaze. Hey, that's how James Kirk looks at the Enterprise. He's like, like
those were his eyes.
Yeah, it's the elevator
That was
eyes.
like the tracking of his eyes gazing all up and down that Enterprise.
Yeah.
To
That could
build
be a rap song, I feel like.
to build off of you talking about the Dark Knight trailer.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few experiences I have personally than sitting in a dark theater and the word syncope popping up on the screen, and I know that I'm about to watch a new Christopher Nolan trailer. Because that's his production company.
Oh, I thought you meant it's just the word. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, it's the logo syncope, and I know...
It's a logo.
Yes, it's a logo, and I know that's Christopher Nolan's production company, and I remember sitting in the theater... I heard that the Tenet trailer was coming out soon. Mm-hmm. And then I was sitting in a theater and Syncope came up like, oh, no. I felt the same way about the Dunkirk trailer and the Interstellar trailer.
You're like 90 years old. Dunkirk.
I'm at least 40 inside. So
you're like, yeah, I think like 40. You haven't given up yet.
Now, Paige, what's your favorite use of a song in a movie?
Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, this one might be tough without any prep. I'm trying to think. Do instrumentals count? Or not?
We're going to get there.
Okay. Fuck. I don't know. Alright, that's a tough one.
We could go back to that one because the next one was, so this is kind of what you were alluding to, is so you want to put on a movie score, like an instrumental from the film. What are you going to put on? What's your favorite one?
I mean, that's got to be Lord of the Rings, you know?
That's a great choice.
That is a bop. Every hit is better than the last.
Howard Shore, and just like whether it's the Fellowship theme, which is like one of the most triumphant things you can listen to in terms of...
It's such a bop.
I remember being so unnerved and creeped out in the theater watching Return of the King when Frodo and Sam and Smeagol are walking up to Cirith Ungol, which like looks straight out of like Wizard of Oz, like the creepy giant green castle.
It gives you like...
And that music that starts to play is so creepy. And the Shalob's Lair theme is so creepy. It's so... I get goosebumps from the music of the March of the Ents in the Two Towers.
Oh,
just
so good.
All the music. So beautiful. And even like the actual songs that they made, because like Enya had a song for the first one, I think it was.
Yeah, that's a bop. That's also a bop.
Annie Lennox's Into the West, which won Best Original Song at the Oscars.
Also a bop?
Yes. Beautiful music. Mm-hmm. Everything's beautiful about Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you watched Lord of the Rings and didn't want to go to New Zealand, there's something medically wrong with you. I'm pretty sure. It's the greatest travel movie ever created. Like, 100% lighting of the beacons. Andrew Lesnie, the cinematographer, is like, we're going to make these mountains look so good.
They're so green.
And it still blows my mind that didn't even get nominated for Best Cinematography.
It didn't?
No. Return of the King won 11 out of 11 Academy Awards it was nominated for, but was not nominated at all for cinematography, which I call bullshit on. But it's hard to argue with what won, because Master and Commander, Far Side of the World won.
We're like Master Vader and Command Her. Oh, okay, sorry.
You almost made that one work, honestly.
I almost did. That could be...
See, if you were more committed to it, if you just were like very confident and just said that, I think that would have really worked.
We could do another take, but that's cheating, so I'm just going to leave my folly in there.
But yes, it's a beautiful film. I rewatched it with Jess, like, God, it was probably a month ago at this point. Mm-hmm. But, like, Lord of the Rings, beautiful music. Yeah. And I had all 3 soundtracks on CD when I still owned CDs.
Me too. God, oh my God, we were the coolest kids in school. Like, can't you tell? We were so popular.
I have never once been considered cool or been mistaken to be, but I appreciate it.
You're so cool. No, like, freaks are the coolest people. Actual cool people, like, peak in high school and then, like, get fat and develop, like, a Percocet problem.
And they're, like, the high school football coach or something.
Yeah. And, like, no shade to people with, like, substance abuse problems, but, like, I mean, they do it to, like cope with their mediocrity.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, so I was like looking at your DVD cases low-key, and now I have an answer to your previous question.
Go ahead.
So the Johnny Cash cover of Hurt in Logan.
So that's one of my favorite trailers ever.
And it's in the movie too, right?
I don't think so.
Fuck.
No, the song that is in the actual movie during the credits is The Man Comes Around.
Oh.
Which is great too. Johnny Cash is like the whole, like you could hear a record like starting up and it's like, and he has this like voiceover. It's like a man on a pale horse and like, and the horse was named Death. And like, and
wait,
it goes
are you
like,
sure that Hurt isn't in the movie?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, you would be.
Right. Speaking, well, Marco Beltrami's score for Logan is also awesome. So
it is.
I'm gonna like throw that out there. But that is a great use of a song in a score in a trailer. Damn, when I saw that Logan trailer for the first time, I'm just like,
that fucks you up, man. I cried.
I cried. I have cried only a few times in a theater, and at the end of Logan was one of them.
Aww.
And I also had the strangest euphoric moment watching that movie because for those of you who knew me in college, these were longer. These went all the way down to here, and I had giant Wolverine mutton chops.
Yeah, I didn't know you in college.
And I'm named after the movie Shane. And sitting and watching Logan, and they started watching the movie Shane in it, and I'm like,
so meta.
I'm like, what's going on here? And then the whole second act of the movie is kind of a reworking of the story of Shane with the family and stuff like that, and Logan being the... Like, the whole entire idea of Shane is he's a gunslinger that wants to put that life behind him.
Right.
And he gets in with his family, but then... escalation, the bad guys in town hire themselves a gunslinger, played by a very, very young Jack Palance, which is very interesting. And, you know, Shane winds up having a shootout at the end of the movie and rides off because he cannot put that life behind him. And that's Logan.
And neither can Shane.
And Logan cannot put that life behind him.
And neither can Shane.
Apparently not.
He's a gunslinger. There's many firearms in this room, you just can't see them.
I have never once owned a gun in my whole entire life.
Pounds of meth. Yeah.
Of course. There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She knows me so well.
I didn't answer the question at all. But that's my answer. I can't think of a better
We're going to go with it.
Okay, thank you.
It was a great use of a song in a trailer, so I accept it.
Thank you.
Now, my last question for you is, what's the one thing that you wish movies would stop doing?
I mean, I feel like we already touched on this, but I'm so fucking sick of reboots and franchises. Like, I want some original content. Like, so, I'm not saying there's no place for that kind of thing, but I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just ridiculously bloated at this point, and it's like, I don't care. Like, I will literally watch paint dry. Like, I don't want to watch another fucking Marvel movie.
That's okay, I'll watch all of them for you.
Okay, if you want to review any movie, this is your guy. But I just don't... Like, I just feel like now there's such a dearth of, like, innovation in like, the movie industry, and they just want, like, the sure thing, like, the easy buck, because... You know, the movie theater's kind of dying, and, like, long-form TV content is more where it's at for original stuff. Mm-hmm. But, like, I feel like... That's why, like, I'll watch any A24 movie, because I feel like it's the only fucking movie studio that makes anything original anymore. Oh,
and it's so original. Like... It's original. It's, like, to the point where it's, like... sometimes... it goes a little bridge too far.
Right.
But I respect every bold decision that any filmmaker through their studio makes. Because I respect that and I love that. And, like, as somebody who does... There's, like... Because I had my poll this week on my Instagram page about what's one franchise that you just would love to keep going. And your actual response was, I hope they all stop. And...
Not all of them, but, like, it was... I was being, like, hyperbolic. But...
I love the Marvel movies, and I feel like they're at least doing things differently enough now with different characters that I'm going to keep watching them.
One apologist.
I've watched James Bond movies since I was 8 years old, and I'm going to continue to watch whatever Bond they hire next. I'm going to continue to watch them. And, like, but there's, beyond that, there's not a whole lot of, like, John Wick's probably also another one. As long as Keanu Reeves can keep doing that and they can come up with, like, creative ways to do all kinds of crazy stuff, I'll keep watching them. But there's a lot of things where it's just like, do we need any more Rocky movies? Did Harrison Ford need to, like, get hurt as an 80-year-old man filming another Indiana Jones movie?
He's 80?
He's almost 80.
Holy shit!
If you saw him at the Oscars this year, he looked old. And he sounded like an old man, and it was really sad.
I hate that.
Like, there's room for sequels. Like, Blade Runner 2049 blew my mind. Did I ever think I needed a sequel to Blade Runner? No. But that is the big exception. Because, like, do I need... Like, the reason I asked that poll was because, will they just kill Fast and the Furious? Will they just put it out to pasture?
I was wondering, like,
because I saw F9 on Friday. Yeah. I'm like, this has completely jumped a shark. They literally were making meta jokes about plot armor in it. I'm like,
that's the kind of shit that I'm like,
you have gone too far.
Yeah.
But like, when I heard they were remaking Turner and Hooch with Josh Peck for Disney Plus, I'm like, why?
Come on.
Why?
Like, no one even watched the first one, did they? Like, sort of thing?
I think it was a pretty popular Tom Hanks movie.
Right, whatever.
Well, because it was Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Josh Peck's not Tom Hanks.
No. Like, just anything. Just anything.
Like, Mighty Ducks hasn't had Game Changers. They brought that franchise back. Poor Emilio Estevez looks like he hasn't been on camera in, like...
Well, because he hasn't. He's full of filler, too, I think.
And it's like... Can you get a little original? And I've had this conversation on my podcast with Matt and Alex. Mm-hmm. I love Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. I love his Thor movie. Like, I'm really looking forward to Thor: Love and Thunder. I think he'll make a great Star Wars movie, which is supposed to be his next one.
They're still making Star Wars movies.
They're still making.
This is what I mean. I'm like so exhausted.
I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. All right, sorry.
He was supposed to adapt Akira in live action for Warner Brothers, but then put it on the back burner to make this Thor movie and Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I love those big budget movies. But does this mean I'm not going to get Hunt for the Wilder People and Jojo Rabbit anymore? And that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
And, like, it makes me sad every time, like, a great indie director makes one great movie, and they're like, come to us.
Yeah.
And, like, grab them. It's like, hey... There's people that make, like, let Jon Favreau keep making all the big budget fun movies that he wants. But, like, some of these indie directors, like, Josh Trank had Chronicle. And then they're like, you're making a Fantastic Four movie. And then we got Fan Four Stick, which was a complete train wreck of a movie. And his career completely died because of it. And, like, I think... more people need to stick... And, like, I understand. They're probably getting paid a shit ton of money to make those movies. So I'm like, I can't blame them.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's a hate the game. You love the players, you hate the game. That's kind of the thing. And it's just like... It's a trade-off. Like, I love all of Taika Waititi's films, but, like, honestly, sometimes I want to Hunt for the Wilder People. I want to watch a little kid, foul-mouthed rapper kid, get lost in the bush with Sam Neill and run from the police. Like, that was amazing.
I love watching the police be made fools.
Rachel House, though, who's from Child Services in that, was intense. I love Rachel House. She's great.
Who is she?
She's the Child Services lady in Hunt for the Wilder People. She's in Thor Ragnarok. She's Topaz, who's like Jeff Goldblum's right-hand lady. She's the voice of the grandmother in Moana. Who's so great.
Love her.
And she was a voice in Soul.
Okay.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, Pixar, for a long time, were making these amazing original films, and now we have 4 Toy Stories, which, that's another thing. I'm like, why are you making a 4th one? The 3rd one was amazing, and then they made the 4th one, and I loved it, and I'm like, see, now I can't be mad at you.
I feel like you like every movie. Like, I never hear you say anything critical. All I say is, like, I just talk shit constantly as if I could ever direct a fucking cereal commercial. You know, I'm like, oh, the cinematography, like... And then
look at this box of cereal.
Yeah, like
There are obviously movies that I do not like.
I know, but you're so positive, and like I like that about you as a person. But like as a movie reviewer, it's like, can you be meaner?
Go watch my F9 video that I just released.
All right, I can't.
Because,
we're filming.
Well, when we're done.
I'll do it.
Do it later.
It's very meta.
So, because I went off on a tangent of like, this made no sense. How's this even happen? And like, I even made an insane clown posse joke. Because I'm like, magnets? How do they work? Apparently, if you watched F9, you wouldn't know how they worked because...
Wait, they misuse a magnet?
They have super magnets.
What the fuck is a super magnet?
They like... There's a sorry to spoil this if you haven't seen F9, but it's ridiculous. So they're driving into Edinburgh, down a road.
You mean in the city?
Yes.
Okay.
And John Cena's driving down another road, and there's buildings in between, like brick buildings. They turn on the super magnet, and it literally rips John Cena's car off the ground, through these brick buildings, and into the super magnet inside this truck.
You can turn on magnets?
Yes.
I don't think you can actually do that.
They do, and they have like these very obvious turn dials with like 1 to like 10. Might as well put it up to 11 because at least that would have been a funny inside joke. But like they're like whoop on, nope off, and they use it for the most ridiculous, stupid. But like I was literally laughing in the theater because I couldn't help how dumb it was. And like if that's what you're looking for in Fast and the Furious, which it sounds like a lot of people are and have been telling me, just review it for what it is, and I'm like, yeah, a bad movie that's silly and stupid and over the top. But like this didn't even have The Rock in it. And like
what? What's Fast and the Furious without Dwayne Johnson?
That's what I thought, but apparently because I have only seen a select few of the movies, so I have no emotional connection to Dom Toretto. And apparently Vin Diesel can literally rip the stone ceiling out of a catacomb with his bare hands and chains. Because apparently he's a superhuman at this point. But
catacombs are very delicate.
This one did not look very delicate.
Well, but like they're old as shit though. Like I feel like I could probably do that if I was like in a really like crumbly area. I've been in many catacombs.
Can you do it after taking out like 10 armed men by yourself? Because you know, look at Vin Diesel. Yes. He has like no legs and.
He's no legs?
Vin Diesel skips leg day.
What? Okay,
So, anyway.
I could do it. I could take down 10 men and all the catacombs in Paris in one day.
I believe you, Paige.
Thank you.
So,
feminism.
In short, we want more original content. So that's the moral of the story. But, to wrap up the show, my guest always gets to ask me a question.
Oh, I forgot about that shit.
So, Paige, what would you like to ask the Wasteland Reviewer?
Oh, no. Does it have to? It has to be about. It has to be about movies.
Doesn't have to be.
It's okay. Have you seen? I don't know what to ask you. All right. What do you think about J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting back together?
Good for them. Like
they're actors, so it tangentially counts.
I like Matt Damon's response.
What was it?
Basically, like, good for them. Oh. I didn't know about this.
What? Matt Damon didn't know? Aren't they like best friends?
Supposedly, he didn't know. I guess I think he was just trying to skirt paparazzi.
I'm sure he's not going to be like, oh.
All I care about is that Ben Affleck's okay, and he's gotten out of rehab, and he seems to be in a better place. As long as he's a good father to his, 4 or 5 kids that he has with Jen.
3.
Really?
He only has 3. He's a normal amount of kids. Isn't that crazy?
I thought he had, at least 4 with Jennifer Garner.
No,
anyway, 3. So, as long as he's a good father to those kids, and him and J-Lo are happy. I have a reverse question for you. Who would you rather be with? A-Rod or Ben Affleck?
So I am as a Gemini, I am a voracious consumer of celebrity gossip.
Okay.
And so apparently A-Rod is horrible, cheats all the time, brings...
He cheated while he was on baseball. Sorry.
I meant on his partners. Oh my god. Yeah, but he apparently would bring sex workers back to their house while J-Lo was there, which again, I'm no shade to sex workers, but that's really rude.
Was J-Lo into this?
No,
Oh, then
no.
What the hell?
No, that's a different thing. And Ben Affleck apparently is not a cheater, I don't think. So I think
he just has some problems.
But
which hopefully he's gotten past.
But he's I think A-Rod's cuter. But Ben Affleck is less problematic. But honestly, neither of them. I'm very happy, But also, even if I was single, I would like to date someone who's not a douchebag.
If I had the reverse, I love Jennifer Garner.
A lot. Between the gens? Yeah. No, I mean, I think I don't think either of them are attractive either. Any of these people.
I had a huge crush on her watching Aliases, a 10-year-old.
Aw. I get that. She wore leather bodysuits
and she was
all
cool.
The time. She was
a spy. And then it's everything else now she only plays moms in movies. And it's just well, she's reached that point in her career.
Even though she looks exactly the same as she did in Alias, I don't know why she could still.
She did have Peppermint, where it was her Taken, where it's oh, it's a recognizable name. Let's put them in an action movie.
Peppermint?
I believe the movie was called Peppermint.
Oh, never
because
heard of her.
ever since Liam Neeson started Taken, basically you could take any named actor, put him in an action movie, and some studio thinks it'll make money.
And it usually does, probably, right?
Usually with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
So
I love Liam Neeson. I used to love him. I feel like his standards have been too low for too long.
It's funny because he was in an interview promoting The Ice Road, which is his newest Liam Neeson type action thriller movie that's on Netflix right now.
Oh.
I have a review on Sif Pop, so you should go check it out along with my video. But he was I'm surprised people keep casting me in these movies. He was in The Marksman that came out in January that basically felt like shit. Clint said no. Liam Neeson. Because it felt like a Clint Eastwood movie. 100% felt like a Clint Eastwood movie. I'm even pretty sure it was written by one of the guys who used to write for Clint Eastwood.
But he's fucking 90 now.
He is literally 90.
I think he's
91. He has Cry Macho coming out in September.
Does that man's gonna be 120? We'll be
Clint's still going.
Dead yet?
And he'll be up to 20 kids.
He's 20 kids?
He has 12.
Okay.
13 kids.
What is with all these male celebrities who don't know how to use a condom?
Well, Scott Eastwood was a bastard. He had an affair with a flight attendant.
A bastard. Was it 1603? He was born
Clint
out of God's wedlock.
Clint was alive then, so...
Scott Eastwood, also a hottie.
Not a great actor, though.
Not a good actor.
He definitely lost the charisma.
Yeah.
That fell way far from the tree.
Yeah.
Because, Clint can just look at you a certain way, and you're just
oh.
That's Clint Eastwood.
Okay, Shane. I think Paul Newman, I feel more that way about Paul Newman.
Paul Newman's great, too. Even in, his last live-action role was Road to Perdition with him and Tom Hanks. But, even in Hudsucker Proxy, which was, the early 90s, Paul Newman was probably 70 at that point.
He could still get it. He could still get it.
Still got it.
Just like Mitt Romney.
Zaddy Romney.
That's my most problematic celebrity crush is Mitt Romney.
So
That's a bad.
I felt like this was a very, very fitting end to this episode of Lost in the Wasteland.
Okay.
Because as we just gossiped over a bunch of celebrities.
I know. Oh wait, I want to ask you something now.
Yes.
Again, non sequitur, but when you get your first sponsorship, can I be part of it? I don't want any of the money. I just want to be able to be like, this is a hashtag ad.
Sure. Why not?
You will get a sponsorship. I believe in you.
It's been a 5-year journey as of August since I started this channel. Gonna crack 400 subscribers soon.
Yay! We're gonna get him a sponsorship. Like, I don't know, Blue Apron, that stupid VPN. I mean, it's not stupid. Please sponsor us. What else do they do? Oh, those hair vitamins. Look, we take those hair vitamins. We both have tons of hair. Too much hair. I'm shedding all over this damn table from the hair vitamins.
I haven't gotten a haircut since January.
We both have been blessed with lots of hair, and it's all thanks to these vitamins.
So, pay us. But on that note, Paige, thank you for joining this episode of Lost in the Wasteland. And I'm sure Paige will be back for round 3.
I can't stay away.
When I finish writing the rest of the questions. But thank all of you out there for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.